Hello, welcome to Southside Garage, and today we're going to talk about handlebars and riser options for a VN2000. Okay, if we start off with talking about bars, what I'm running on my bike, 10-inch mini apes. Now, depending on the person's interpretation that's selling the bars of where they actually are measured from, it could have a bearing on whether you've got bars that are too high or too low for what you actually want. But commonly the rise is measured from the center of this bar to the center of that bar. Some people measure the overall, which would, in this case, be like 12 inches. But from the center of the bar, those two bars there, is 10 inches on this particular set of bars. I am going to buy another set shortly that are a 12-inch rise. I'm pretty sure they're going to go on. I'm going to have enough length in the cables and so on for them to go on. But 10 inches is definitely safe if you are using the standard VN2000 risers. Now, the next thing you want to look out for is this length here. Now, ideally, you're going to want at least 220 mil of 1-inch stick out from your 1.25 inch step down for your grips and switch blocks and master cylinder mounting. Most bars are made for Harleys, which are only around about 185, that distance across there, which is a little bit too short. Your grip is going to have this much area where there's just nothing under there otherwise. So that's something else you want to make sure of if you're ordering bars online or whatever, that area there is like 220 millimeters. I think that probably really covers it for the bars, but if you do have any questions, by all means shoot me a comment or whatever and I'll try and answer it for you. Next we'll talk about risers. Actually, before we get on to the risers, you're going to want to buy bars that have a 1-inch clamp. So that bar down there is 1 inch, and the centers between there is 88 mil, like the same as a Harley, whatever that is in Imperial. I think it's 3.5 inches, something like that. So you need to get that right, because a lot of bars that are built for like fat boys and things like that, they have a 1.25 inch clamp down there, so that won't work for you. So make sure you have a 1-inch clamp bar also. So when it comes to options for handlebar risers for a VN2000, sort of somewhat limited, because Harley use a 1/2-inch mounting bolt, and Kawasaki, they use a M10. Now, it's not really just a simple case of drilling out your top triple clamp to 1/2 inch and then bolting Harley risers on, because there's not a real lot of meat on the triple clamp itself. It's not solid billet, it's a cast type deal. So we'll just go over to the bike and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So when you look down from the top, it looks like there's plenty of meat to drill through. Here's the M10 standard mounting bolt, goes through there. And I'll just show you on the back side. The back side is where the problem is. Now that's the back side there, where the M10 bolt goes through. If you were to drill that out, you would compromise its strength. And I would dearly like to have put Harley risers on this, and I've just decided not to for that reason there. If you decided you wanted to go ahead and drill those holes anyway and put Harley risers on, what I would suggest is, while you've got the top triple clamp off, to drill it. Before you put it back on, use a domed head bolt like this, with a like an Allen key on it, and come in from the back side and bolt your risers up to the trees first before you put them on, because once you go bigger with that hole, the other problem that you come up against is that if you were to try and use a nut underneath or put a bolt through, you won't be able to, because it'll be that close to the steering stem of the frame that you won't get it on there. So you can only just sort of get a nut on there with the M10. So if you went up to 1/2 inch, there's no way that you would get a nut on from underneath. So you'd have to bolt up through, and if you use something like this, it will fit. And but I've opted to just go back with standard risers, and like I say, it's a shame I bought these. I really wanted to fit them, but I just feel that it's a little bit unsafe to drill that top triple clamp out because of that the way that it's designed on the back side of the triple clamp, and that the strength of it would be compromised, unfortunately. So then when it comes to aftermarket risers, you can get some really nice looking risers in metric, but all the ones that I've seen all take a 12mm bolt. So you're up against the same thing again. 12mm is a little bit smaller than 1/2 inch, obviously, by about 1/2 mil, and the actual holes through the top triple clamp do have a little bit of slack in them. So if you just went up carefully with your drill sizes till you just found one that was just big enough for your 12mm bolt to go through from underneath, you can buy these in metric. You have to use this style again and bolt it from underneath. That'd be another option. Or you just use your standard risers and choose your handlebars to suit your height that you want, and that. Actually, one other point that I want to address while we're on the subject of risers is your standard Vulcan risers. If you look at them, you'll see one side is fatter than the other. So this side here is taller than the other side. So from the bit of research that I did and to find out exactly how these are supposed to be torqued on, what I've been told is that this fatter side here, it goes to the front and you torque that up first, and then this thinner side, that's your clamping one to tighten your bars with. But obviously, common sense when you're doing that bottom, the second bolt there, that you don't over tighten and either break this through this thin area here, or you can strip the thread out of your out of here too if you're not careful. But apparently that's how it's done. This goes on. This fatter side faces towards the front of the bike. Clamp that down first, put the back bolt in, and then tighten that down to suit without leaning on it too hard. So there you have it. That pretty much wraps it up. Hope I answered a few questions that people may have about what bars and what risers will fit their VN2000. Have a great day, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one.